Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hey, how is everyone doing? Hey, first off, testing 1, 2, 3. Is my audio good? but, 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 but yes, today I am here with a wonderful VTuber named Cherry Sprout. So Cherry, so for those who don't know you that well, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, everybody. My name is Cherry Sprout. I'm a variety VTuber who loves to stream mostly cozy games, and sometimes we do horror games for funsies, and also some hand cam streams now. We're starting to integrate that. If you want to know a little bit about my lore, I'm a little cherry blossom sprout who hopes to one day bloom into a full cherry blossom. So just a little cherry fairy.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So, how did you get started? What got you into streaming, and how did you come up with your name and VTuber model?
Okay, so we're going back to the days of 2020. Yeah, I started when a lot of other people started back in the middle of the pandemic. It was 2020. I didn't really have anything to do. And my friend was like, "Hey, you got to try this VTubing thing out. It's like all the rage right now." And I'm like, "I don't know. I don't really like streaming or Twitch or anything like that." And he's like, "You got to try it." So I was like, "Okay, I'll look into it." And then I started playing with it, and I was just like, "Oh, okay, this is really fun." So I kind of just did it because there was nothing else to do, and then I kind of fell in love with it. What was the other half of that question?
Oh, how did you come up with your username and VTuber model?
Okay, so also not an amazing story or anything, but basically I was like, I really want a cute name. So, but like I didn't know like what type of cute name I wanted, because at that point I didn't really know anything about like VTuber lore or anything. Oops, I'm sorry, you guys. You're right. I need to move chat. 1 second. um, but yeah. So I didn't know anything about VTuber lore. Um, I gotta find my chat real quick. 1 second. Pretty much it. There it is. So I just picked cute words, and I made a list of cute words, and then I started putting them together, like one cute word with another cute word, and then I would search for it and see if it existed already as a VTuber or even just on any social platforms. And eventually I was like asking friends, I'm like, "What do you guys think about these two cute words together?" Sprout, and I was like, I kind of like this. And I asked one of my friends, I was like, "Hey, what do you think about this name Cherry Sprout?" And she was like, "I don't know, kind of sounds like a stripper name." And I was like, "What?" So I was like really hesitant to take it when she said that, but I ended up going with it. So I like it, especially now that I have lore to go with it.
Oh, oh, okay. Well, that's a very interesting and origin story. So
Oh,
I'm very curious. How has your content evolved over time, like from when you first started to today?
okay. So I definitely was just figuring things out for sure. When I first started, I didn't know what I was. My chat knows this, but like I'm not much of a gamer. But I was trying to figure out like what type of things to do on Twitch, and so I started playing FPS. Like I have a couple OGs here who know that like I started playing Paladins, and that was just because it was like free or something. And I was like, I need something to play, so I was like, really like that's what I would play like every day, and then like I just I just like couldn't really find. I played Haven. I played all these games that were like not expensive. And I was just trying to find something that would like attract people in. And so I didn't really have like a rhyme or reason to what I was doing, but I always did make a schedule and stick to it, because that was like one of the first things I learned. I learned like always have a schedule and stick to it as if it's your job, and then also to not stream too often is kind of what I learned, because they said scarcity makes you like more special. So if you're not streaming, like if you stream like every single day, then people will hop in and out, but they know that you'll always be there. But if you like stream less, people will make time because it's a more special event. So I forgot the question, but I'm rambling there. But yeah, basically I started doing like really just random games until I kind of came across. I think what was the first game that really got me going? I think it was Fall Guys. I started playing cuter games, and that seemed to really fit with my personality. So I started to kind of figure things out after that.
Yes, Fall Guys. Everybody, I think a lot of people started out with that, especially during the pandemic, because hey, everybody's locked inside. There's not much to do. Let's just play this silly little game with other people and have fun. Am I right? So I understand that you're a say-so streamer. What brought you to that type of streaming? Was there like a particular inspiration from a previous say-so streamer, or excuse me, is did that particular style just come to you like, oh well, okay, well, my streaming style, it's going to be say so, and it's going to be comfy and cozy and just playing comfy cozy games and just chatting with my viewers.
Yeah, I actually didn't even know what say so was for a very long time, but I always was say so. It's kind of my personality. Oh my gosh! Tagi, thank you so much for the 13 months. Hi, welcome in. I'm sorry about that. I just had to say hi to Tagi. Thank you. But yeah, I was always say so. It's just my personality. I've always liked being family friendly, and in real life, I really like family friendly stuff, and I don't really, I'm not much of a big cusser, and I don't really like, on occasion, thank you, Kobe, I'll hydrate. On occasion, like to play like a scary game and stuff, which isn't really super say so, but overall, I don't know. I don't know. When I learned what say so was, I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, that's totally me. So it wasn't something I fell into. It's like something that I always was, like before I even knew what it was.
Have you taken like any particular inspiration from other say so streamers, or have you just like developed your own path along the way?
Yeah, you know what? I am really bad at comparing myself to others. I really do. When I see how other people are doing things, I'm like, oh man, they're so much better than me and that. But when it came to being say so, I just had to like go to the beat of my own drum. I just kind of was doing what felt right. And one of the biggest things is I actually, believe it or not, this is really interesting, is because recently I had somebody message me and say, hey, why don't you become an 18 plus streamer? And they weren't saying like, hey, become a lewd streamer or anything. They were just like, hey, maybe you'll be able to expand more if you're an 18 plus streamer, and you kind of get rid of like, not the say so per se, but get rid of like the family friendly, everybody's welcome kind of thing. And like I thought about it for just like a brief second. I was just like, I don't know. I just don't think that's me. I do want to welcome everybody. I do want to be a safe space for everybody. And if that means that I won't grow as much, then so be it. I have to be me. So yeah, sorry, forgot what the question was, but yeah, I guess when it came to comparing myself to other, I actually didn't know many say so VTubers. Really, I haven't. I'm just now getting the point, thanks to you and a couple of other people who are helping me find say so streamers. I really didn't know that there were other people like me for the longest time.
Yeah, yeah, and I know Jimmy Mando is like, hey, do what makes you happy, and I agree with that. To you as a streamer, like you should never just just do what somebody else wants you to do. It's your stream and your audience, and you need to grow and do everything on your own terms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Although I just love how the one person has like the only time I hear Sherry curse is Among Us when she puts herself or gets caught red-handed.
Yeah, it slips every once in a while. I mean, I am an adult.
Oh,
I
of
am an
course.
adult. I do have it in my vocabulary, but usually it slips out at the worst times.
Uh, so, I just from your own very personal experience, like, what's it like to be a VTuber, and what makes VTubing just so special?
You know what? I wish I had a more inspiring answer, but VTubing is really hard. I've been struggling a lot lately, to be completely honest. With I enjoy being a VTuber so much. I am a quite a private person, and I definitely don't think I would ever be a streamer if I had to like be on like face cam or whatever. And it's not because of like I'm like self-conscious or anything. It's just like I like kind of having a private life because I'm so scared of being doxxed. Um I've had really bad experiences in the past with stalking. So I've had some really bad stalking situations in the past, and that being able to be a VTuber where people respect your privacy has been the only reason I've been able to open up on the internet at all. So I think VTubing is a really great outlet, and I do really enjoy it, but it is really hard. When you're not a I I, I don't know. Like I said, I have a really hard time. Like I'm always comparing myself to others. Like when I look at like Silvervale and I started streaming at the exact same time. But she's an amazing streamer. She deserves everything that she's gotten. She's got a great audience and stuff. But sometimes I'm wondering, like, man, maybe if I just had bigger boobs, I would do better. But no, in all honesty, yeah, VTubing is very hard for me because I am quite an introvert and I do like to stay private. So it's like the best way to stream if you are that type of person.
Yeah, and speaking as an introvert myself and someone that will keep his personal issues very, very personal, I know exactly how it is, and I know like the internet tends to gravitate to close to the cutesy girl, with the bigger chest and everything. But even then, streamers will eventually find their own audience, like with your own community that you got here.
Yeah. Yeah, I have an amazing community, and I really appreciate each and every one of them. People who have been with me for 5, 6 years, and those who are brand new or have been around for 6 months. I think you attract the energy you put out. So I think we have a really great community here, and I wouldn't change a single thing about it. We're small but mighty,
Oh, of course.
and like as much as I want to say like, yeah, I want to be a big VTuber, a big streamer. I honestly don't really want to get that big because the bigger you are, the less you can connect with your chat and everybody. So it's like a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, for sure. Especially, it's just not only being less close knit. It's that when you become bigger, people will put more scrutiny on you. What I say, like to say, like in the public's eyes, so to say.
Yeah.
So, I'm curious, how do you think VTubing has evolved over time, especially from your own experience? Like when you first like started out as your first model. I don't know if you started out as a PNG tuber or not. To like how to excuse me to your model today.
Yeah, VTubing has changed quite a bit, but at the same time, not at all. Like, I definitely, like, I always started out as a 3D model, just because, it was free and I could do like the motion capture things because, like, I was really into like getting to do like the motion tracking and stuff. So I've never had a 2D model, and I've actually never been a PNG model either. So I feel like I might be one of the only people who has like stayed 3D for like 5 years. So a lot of people upgrade to a 2D model, and that's like really expensive. And it also, like, in my mind, like hinders, like, you have to spend a lot of money in order to have like outfit changes and stuff like that. With like 3D, it's like so easy and cheap. And but I do think, I know this is kind of a tangent from your question, but I do think people, I don't know if it's just me in the way I think, but like I feel like people kind of look down on 3D like model or like 3D VTubers. I don't know. I get that feeling whenever I talk to people who are like 2D and stuff like that. But I stick with it just because I'm not going to spend thousands of dollars on a 2D model. I'm not ready to change. But other than that, like, yeah, VTubing has definitely come a long way with, like, 2D and stuff like that, and like with Hololive, EN, and like how it's come from Asia and just really grown a huge, huge population here, like in the West.
Yeah, I remember like my very first exposure to VTubing was Hololive, and just watch some streams here and there. It was mainly Japan based, so there wasn't like much of a Western VTubing, or not as much of a Western audience at the time, and then it started growing, and I think the pandemic really helped started bringing out people's creative side, because hey, when we're stuck inside with nothing else to do, you gotta create your own thing. And even at convention, like I remember maybe not even a year ago, like a VTuber, you were a VTuber, maybe you were tucked away in the small little corner of the dealer's room, and then it was just like last year. I remember at Anime Week in Atlanta, like there was this whole virtual VTuber section of the dealer's room, and I think outside of the panel, you would have to pry me away there, because I'm just going up like, oh yeah, what kind of content do you do as a VTuber? Would you ever be interesting in networking or collabing at times? Because it never hurts to act. So
Yeah.
I will say I have met a lot of wonderful people there, and there's just been some really great VTubers that have been discoverable as of recently too. So I've been getting
Hmm.
more and more into that space, and I did tell myself this year, okay, this is the year I would love to network with more content creators and VTubers and get to know them more, and I want to hold myself to it.
Yeah. That's really great. Yeah, you do such a good job with like networking.
Of the, Thank you. I am curious though, if you were ever given the opportunity to make a virtual appearance at a convention, would you do it?
Oh yeah, that would be the dream. I would absolutely love to do that. I've been to a couple conventions where there will be like VTubers doing like little concerts and stuff, um, and just showing up virtually. I think it'd be really cool. Yeah, that'd be like the real dream. I'd be like, hey, I think I made it.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, you never know what the future holds.
Yeah.
Uh, so VTubing had, as mentioned, had exploded like in the past year. In your personal view, where do you see it going from here?
You want to know the truth?
I do.
My personal opinion, I don't know. I think VTubing will, I feel like it's on a curve. And right now I feel like we're already past the peak of the curve and we're kind of on a downward, like, it's not as big, or it won't be as big in a couple years. I think it'll just become like another thing. Does that make sense?
No, that makes perfect sense. So it's more like just settled in, or baked into popular culture. I hope I'm interpreting your conclusion right.
Yeah, it'll just become like, not as special, I would say, because right now it's still kind of just like really cool and different and some, you know what I mean?
That is completely that is a completely understandable answer, and we'll have to see where things go from here. Have there been like any like particular VTuber models that you've come across that really like whoa that's really good or that's really interesting?
Oh, absolutely. All the time. I love looking at other people's models and just saying, like, I don't know, like, everybody. I was on Twitter the other day, and there was an artist who was like, "Hey, drop your PNG, and I'll choose somebody to do a piece of art for." And there were, like, of course, hundreds and hundreds of comments with everybody dropping their VTuber model PNG, and it was just amazing as I was scrolling just to see the personalities that show through and how every single model was so different and so unique. It's really cool to be like, I don't know, just to be like, hey, this is my personality. This is kind of who I am inside, to be able to present that outwardly. So yeah, I've seen a lot of really amazing creations, and it always makes me like wonder, like, if I had it to do over again, like what would I change, and there are definitely things that I'd like to do differently, but I'm happy with what I have.
I think there were like two very particular models at a convention that I saw last year, and one of them was like, you know, excuse me, of a nurse, and the person behind it was like an actual registered nurse. What I think it's like the first time I ever seen that kind of particular VTuber. And another one was a Navy girl, and the person behind that was actually it legit in the Navy. So seeing the people behind VTubers like put a lot of inspiration into what they do IRL into their model was something that particularly stuck out with me.
Yeah. And like I've seen some really unique models, like I don't know if you know Shiloh Jack, but he's like a Confederate soldier dog boy, cuz he does like reenactments, like war reenactments and stuff. He's so great though, but it's such an interesting choice.
I haven't. I'll have to definitely check that out when I get a chance.
Yeah.
Mm. Is there anyone you would like to collaborate in the future? Is there like any type of stream that you've always wanted to do but haven't done yet?
I mean, yeah, there are definitely people I want to collab with, but I always feel like I'm too small of a VTuber to ask, and I know that it's good to like build a relationship with them first by being in their chat and being in their Discord and like getting to know them. So that's kind of something that I've made a goal for this year, is like the people that I really want to collab with, and I'm trying to do more collabs and just like uh yeah. So I definitely have a small list, but I don't know if everyone on that list will eventually collab with me. So, but we'll see.
Hey, it never hurts to shoot your shot because you can cast it wide in the net as you can, and sometimes you'll get a no, and sometimes you won't get a response at all. But there's always that one yes that can really help a lot.
Yes, Pinky, definitely you.
Yeah, yeah. VTuber Pinky like, yeah, pick me, Cherry, pick me. I know that was supposed to happen yesterday, but sadly that had to
Yeah.
be pushed back. But that was a stream I was really looking forward to as
Well, you can look
well.
forward to it because we're gonna do it same time next week, and I should be all better by then.
For for, for sure. Is there any advice you would like to give for someone who would like to get into VTubing themselves?
Yeah, my biggest advice is to just don't spend too much money on it at first. Do a PNG tuber or do a free 3D VTuber. Like, don't throw in all this money getting like a big 2D model right away, just because you're not sure if you're gonna stick with it, if you're gonna like it, if it's gonna work out for you. I would say give it at least a couple months, maybe a year, before you like really delve into spending thousands of dollars on a model. I know a lot of people get really excited to have like their own design and to like, be real professional and stuff, but honestly, you need to do a lot of growing first. And what's really great is if you really did want a 2D model, like Etsy has like a lot of amazing already made rigged 2D models for like, like $20 or something like that. So if you wanted to be a 2D model, there's tons of like already made, and then you can just save up and make sure like that like streaming goes well for you before you do something big.
That is all very good words of advice. Now I know, like, it wouldn't be a stream without scuff. Like, I know, of course, one example I've got, like, why am I acting like, oh, I had my own stream open? But I'm curious. Like, is there any particular scuff or maybe particular memorable moment in one of your streams that stood out to you the most?
Memorable in which way?
It could be like a funny moment or like a scuff, like maybe like a scuff moment that you can look back and laugh at later on.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I have to think back of like 5 years worth of streaming. um I think, let me think. Yeah, a lot of like my best scuff moments have turned into shorts. So I've been able to help, like, it helps me remember them really well. Like every time we play Among Us, I just royally screw up every time, which is always fun. But as far as like, I've definitely, okay, so I remember I got a new background. So I made a new scene in my OBS for this new background, and I was in a different scene, and I was talking to everybody. I was like, "Oh my gosh, are you guys ready? Are you guys ready for my new background, my new room?" And then I switched over to that scene, but I had forgotten to carry over a microphone output in that scene. So I was like, yay, look at this, everybody, here's my new room, it was made by this person and that. And I was like talking for like 8 minutes, and there was no microphone, so I was just like, it was just like a silent stream, and here I was
Oh
just
no!
chatting to myself. This was like literally like back in 2020 or 2021, but that's my biggest thing, is that like you can't it's really hard to know when you're having sound troubles, because you have to rely on like your chat to tell you that something's wrong, because you can't hear your own levels a lot of times. So it's yeah, stuff like that. I mean, we've all been through it.
Oh yeah, I know someone mentioned like, oh, audio or anime, and
Yes.
that is certainly true, and I can speak from the same experience, which is why usually I'll say like, hey, testing, is my audio good, because you're not gonna hear it on your own. You gotta rely on your chat to hear it too.
Hmm. Yeah, and it was really sad because the creator of my room, like the one who actually designed and made my room background, lived in like Italy or something, and he woke up at like 3 or 4 a.m. to catch my stream of me showing off the room. And I felt so bad because I was like singing his praises, but there was no microphone capturing everything I was saying about him. And then he left, and I was just like, no.
Oh no!
It was so sad. I felt so bad. I was like, I was, thanking him, and yeah, he never heard it. So
Oh,
I that sits with me to this day.
yeah. Someone was saying in the chat, like, one of my favorite shorts when Sherry self-reported and accidentally said she self-reported. Oh no! Please, is there
Yeah.
something you'd like to share with us there?
Yeah, that turned out to be a really good short. So basically, I forget what I said, but um I think I had like, yeah, I had killed somebody, and then I went and I, like self-reported, and then I was like, "Oh no, guys, I found this body, something something," and I was like, and they were like, "Wait, how did you find this body? Where were you coming from?" And I was like, "Yeah, I was coming from the cafeteria. I came down, I saw the body, I self-reported, and then I ate
Oh no!
or something like that." Yeah, it was really funny. I'm just horrible at that game. I'm not a very good liar.
It's a fun game overall. I really enjoyed the Among Us stream that we did.
Yeah.
I think like last
Yeah.
week.
Yeah, that was really funny, especially the moment when I thought I was muted and I said, "Oh man, I'm an imposter."
Oh no!
And you guys were all like, "Cherry, mute. You're not muted." I'm like, "Oh, dang it."
Caught in 4K.
Hmm. Yeah, it's a classic. Among Us, I feel like will never get old, especially when you're playing with your good friends in your community.
Now, are there like any particular games you would be open to trying, or any games that you haven't played yet but would like to?
Okay, so I I've played. Okay, I'm trying to think if there's like any. Um, Most of the games that I'm looking forward to playing haven't come out yet. So there's this game that is a lot like Phasmophobia, except for instead of ghost, you're a storm chaser and you're chasing tornadoes. And I cannot wait to play it. It looks like so much fun. And that's going to be a really great co-op game that I look forward to playing.
That sounds
Um,
like an interesting game.
yeah. Yeah, it looks really funny. Like it's gonna be really scary, but that's what makes it so much fun. And then yeah, as far as that like goes, like I know that like Peak and Repo are really like popular right now for like co-op games. I've only played them both once, so I look forward to playing them more. But at the same time, I'm really bad at them. So like Pinky and I are gonna be playing Peak, and I told Pinky I'm like you're just gonna have to carry me all the way up, just letting you know.
I am so sorry for your back, Pinky.
Yeah.
So there is this one game I've seen around. I know for anybody that's ever grown up with a video retro store like Blockbuster or Hollywood Video or any of that. I think it's like called Retro Rewind. I don't know if
Hmm.
if you've seen that or heard of it, Siri, but
Yeah,
that
my
looks like a
brother's
very
playing it right
interesting
now.
game.
Yeah, my brother's been telling me all about it, and I've watched a couple streamers play it. It looks like a lot of fun. The fact that you get to like design your own shop and then like do all the like VHSs or whatever, DVDs or whatever. It looks really fun. That's something I would definitely like to try. I'm not huge on like simulator games, but it looks really good. That one, and there's a new game coming out called Enola Nook, I think, and it looks like a really fun, cozy game. It's on my wish list when it comes out eventually. It'll come out eventually. It doesn't have a release date yet, but it looks so good. It's kind of like if The Sims met like Thumbelina. You're like this cute little like you're like these cute little people and like you make your home inside a person's home because you're so tiny. So you're like using resources from people's houses to like build like you like a shoe, like a shoe can become your home and then you build like little gardens and stuff. It's really cute. I can't wait for it.
Would you ever be open to like trying other types of games, say like retro games, or if you have any console, like any of those type of games at
Mhm.
all?
Animula Nook. That's what it's called, Emmy. Yeah, Emmy got it. Emmy knows. Emmy's on like on the cusp of all the cute games. I know it. I knew it. Yeah, definitely doing some retro games. Hi Scooty. Um, yeah, yeah. I actually, thanks to Nekomi, has helped me get an emulator to play N64 games. So I'm gonna be playing Ocarina of Time and Super Mario 64, and eventually I want to get like Super Nintendo. But I looked like at the emulator, they don't have Super. I think it's called Super Ghouls and Ghosts. I don't know if you've heard of that game, but it's so
I
hard.
have. I was
But
thinking like,
it's
well, that's a throwback.
Yeah, it is. It's one of my favorites though, but it's so hard. You literally get two hits and you're dead, and you have to start
Mm,
over. So I'd love to do that one, and yeah, a couple of others, just retro games. Like I would love to play some GoldenEye and some Perfect Dark. Like the N64 is like my favorite console,
It,
followed by like the PS2. Like I would love to do those types of games.
it's a classic for sure. And just looking back, as you were mentioning, the two hits on Super Gold, Ghouls and Ghosts. Back in the day, you mainly had to rent game because
Hmm.
games were expensive and consoles were expensive, and they were designed to be hard because hey, that's what kept you renting the game. And if it was too easy to beat, it would be like, oh, rent it once, uh, never would never play it again.
Yeah, exactly.
Is there like a particular really hard game that either you never completed that you really want to complete one day, or that you remember beating, like you whether it be recently or years ago, and it was like a huge accomplishment?
Okay, my chat knows this. If I complete any game, it's a huge accomplishment. I usually either lose interest or it gets too hard and I give up. It's very rare for me to like complete a game. But recently, so we had played Dread Flats, which is a really scary like indie horror game, and we had played it a while ago, and I just couldn't get through. Couldn't get through it. It was too scary and too hard. And then the other day I was like, you know what? I feel determined to try again. And so we played through, and I was really, apparently I was really close to the end because I was like literally on like the last part. And I played through it and I beat it, and I was so proud of myself. I was like, I did it. I finished a horror game. So yeah, there's that. And then My Little Puppy was another big one that was really really fun to play, but really hard to get through because it was so sad. I cried like through the whole game.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It was a very sweet story. I don't know if you've ever heard of the game, but basically you're a dead dog in heaven and you're trying to get back to your owner. So
Oh,
it's
that
just
is
such a sad
sad.
premise.
I don't know
Yeah.
if I could even get through that because like whenever it's like a game or a movie that involves the dog, usually like everybody will Google, well, hey, does the dog die? Because thank you, Marley and me for
Yes.
deceiving everyone. To make a long story short.
Yes. If there's a dog in any movie, like just expect them to die. Like that's just like how like movies do it. Oh yeah, I also finished the singing game. There was this one game called one-handed clapping, and it's a game where you actually use your singing voice to like make it through the game, and it was so much fun. But yeah, we finished. I was so proud to finish that one. It was like one of the best games that I've ever played through. It's
There's a
like I
similar music game called Bits and Bop. I don't know if you've heard of it or not.
no, I haven't. No.
It looks really fun. I haven't played it, but I have seen it on streams, and it looks like a lot of fun. I like the soundtrack a lot.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, right now we're playing through Wonder Song, which is of course like kind of a singing. It's like it is singing, but you're not singing, your character's singing. But it's a really fun game. I've always been trying to chase the high of one-handed clapping because it was such a cute, really perfect indie game. It really, I don't know, it really just encompassed like who I am as a person and the type of games I'm looking to play. So yeah, I've always been looking for games like that. So I would love to know more about that game. You should share it with me sometime.
Is there anything in particular that will draw you to a game at all when you're looking to play one?
Yes, yes. So honestly, I always look for indie games first. The biggest thing is it a game I could complete in 3 hours? So shorter games are really good for me because like I do have a short attention span when it comes to games. And the big thing is I worry that my chat and audience will like get bored if the game is too long. But I know that's not true. It's just kind of like a paranoia that I have. So those are the big things I look for, just especially like cute games that have like an interesting twist to them. Those are like what I look for first. And in horror games, if there's like a short indie horror game, I really like those too.
Yeah, I know you touched upon indie game, and it's just really interesting to see how much that is exploded as of recently. I think my very first one was Freedom Planet by the studio named Galaxy Trail, and it was inspired by Sonic the Hedgehog. And me being a big Sonic fan and loving those type of platforming games, that drew me in. And now we have like Hollow Knight and Hollow Knight Silksong that are outside of like the big game studios and those AAA games, so to say.
Yeah, yeah, it's so great to see like indie games getting more recognition and like some like Stray. Stray was a great game. I really was proud of finishing that one too. And the fact that it was up for like game of the year like was incredible.
Yeah, I know there's a similar game called Little Kitty Big City. Have you played
Yeah.
that at all?
I haven't played it, but it's on my list.
It's really good. I highly recommend it. If you
Mm,
just want like a cute game, that's the game for you.
yeah, definitely. I should, yeah, I should put it up higher on my list. Um, yeah, yeah, Stray, yeah, yeah, it's a good game. I'm sorry, will you excuse me for just one moment? I think I'm gonna have a coughing fit.
Oh, okay. No
So just
worries.
keep everyone entertained. I'll be right back.
So, chat, how are you enjoying the Q&A so far? And how's everybody doing? Good. I'm very glad to hear. Thank you so much. I love doing Q and A. Have a I have a lot of experience in doing Q and A with both industry guests and content creators. And typically, my interview style is I like to go more deeper instead of oh well, just what's your favorite X, Y, and Z. I like to really get to know the the person and their content and more behind the scenes stuff, especially when you hear like a very interesting story or a very interesting origin story.
It's okay, sorry, I'm back.
Oh, welcome back. Everybody's been saying, oh, they've been enjoying the interviews so far, so
Oh,
that is
good. I'm
great.
so glad. Thank you, everybody, for being here.
Yeah. Let's see. One of them, someone went to chat was asking, have you guys heard about the Midnight Walk at the game they highly recommend? I haven't. Have you heard about that, Sherry?
Midnight Walk? No.
I haven't. I'd love to know what that game is about.
Yeah.
But,
What is it, like a scary game? Yeah.
I'm curious. When you try to beat a game, are you like 100% completionist, or do you just prefer to go like all the way through?
So that's a really true question for me because I am 100% completionist, but at the same time, I get nervous that if I'm not trying to progress the story quick enough, that people will get bored. Especially and this isn't just for streaming, but like when I play Ocarina of Time and like I want to go fishing or I want to go find all the gold skeletonas and stuff like that, I always get really nervous because I'm like, the world is ending. What am I doing fishing? I've got to complete the story.